Okay, so we're going to start with the camera did a little bit of screwiness while we were recording. And since we try to record things as organically as possible, if I tried to re-record the entire video, it would we wouldn't have the same effect. We wouldn't end up with the same setup. So that being the case, I guess we're just John's frozen. I mean, that's all there is to it. We did get it better. It's now working properly, but for the filming of this particular video, John's camera is frozen. All right, welcome to Three Old Guys Podcast, where we discuss random stuff and do random things. We're being weird today. We had to set up the environment differently because of the way the electrical was. So this is the new layout of where we've got the studio set up. I'm not going to show it to you, but we do have a new studio set up, and I went back to the big computer so we had more access.
Yeah.
Yay. No photos, please, no photos.
Now, the downside to that is because I moved everything over, the first time I turned it on, the entire backside of my house went dark because I killed the entire electrical system.
Yeah.
So we had to call an electrician out and fix the issue, and now it's back up and going. Now,
We have heater in our room now.
well, we're back in the studio. The studio is now set back up in a different pattern.
Yep.
And it's all actually working.
Yay!
Functioning.
Yes, it's functioning, yes.
We're hoping anyway. That's what we're going with. So,
Awesome!
I mean, you
Calm
score.
down, Fred.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take it.
Yep.
But so today's topic, I've been asking everybody to come up with a different topic, and because I'm tired of choosing them, John picked one.
Uh-oh. Dun-dun-dun.
Dun dun dun.
The Adventures of Cod Pasting.
Cod pasting at its best.
So you're the one under the firing squad today.
Today it is.
Oh, you're doomed.
I am very doomed.
So-
So today I guess we're going to discuss
It's anesthesia tattoos.
the...
Anesthesia tattoos?
Yes.
Yes, apparently, because so I've got tattoos. If I can show it to you.
I got
And-
tattoos.
yeah, Tim's got tattoos. I've got various other ones, and John is, he's got quite a few tattoos.
I don't have any.
Don't let him give you
Don't
any.
let him bullshit you.
He has quite a few tattoos, and of course we've all done it. The standard way: you go in, you find somebody, or you do them at your own home, and you just sit through it, and you deal with a little bit of pain. You get the tattoo, but we're not doing these massive tattoos.
Yeah.
So the new bougie thing, or
Trending.
it's the
Trending?
it's the trending thing. Well, it's starting.
If you
to
got the
become
money.
because it's expensive.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Is to go in and have them actually put you under sedation, and then you're completely out. It's just like a general anesthetic. They completely put you out.
They
Just
completely, oh, Jesus.
yeah, like if you were going in for surgery, but you're just getting a massive
That means
tattoo.
that means your buddies can come in and fuck with you all they want. Just as, hey, let's put a fucking dick on his face. Yeah.
I mean, they could. Those type of friends. If I had friends like that, I wouldn't even let them in the studio when I was getting it done.
Definitely not.
So effectively, you
Mm.
Yeah.
would no longer be allowed in the studio if I was getting a tattoo done
Oh,
and I
man.
was getting put
Oh,
on.
darn it, there was that plan.
Because John would do it with a Sharpie just to be funny, and I would wake up with with a set of balls on my face. Tim would grab the wrong one, and I'd end up with a tattoo on my face.
Well,
Where did Tim go?
I went in front of the firing squad.
So basically, what I want to discuss about this subject is that doing this versus doing it the old school way, where in the beginning, well, not so much in the beginning, but earlier days when men would get tattoos, it was usually of the not so desired type of person that would get one, so like a bad boy, you would say, or bikers,
Bang, bang, bang.
and they would traditionally go in and get tattoos done and suffer through the pain and whatnot in order to get this artwork done. But nowadays, you got these yuppies that come in with a little bit too much money that can just go into sedation and just come out with a full body piece and then parade it around like they did something, And it's like I would have to shun on that because I'm still of the tradition that when you went through the pain and suffering that you would put in your, I guess you could say,
Dues.
your dues or your blood,
Yeah.
and
Blood, sweat,
it
and
came out
tears.
with the artwork.
that kind of falls back in. Okay, so we're going to go back way back at the start of tattoos.
Mhm.
They were sailors, the Vikings that went through battle, the warriors, Viking warriors that went through battle and actually were on ships.
The Polynesians.
The Polynesians, the
There
Hawaiians.
was a lot of men of military and whatnot and tribal.
But you had to earn them.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, there was
Oh, yes.
definitely reasons to have them.
And that kind of wandered into more the bad boy issue by the time we started to get towards
60s, 50s.
well, no, not even before then. Highwaymen back in the 1700s that were, they were old soldiers that had gone through and now they were marked as effectively the bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the Polynesians didn't know anything about this because they weren't indoctrinated into the modern world yet at that point. But pirate.
Have you seen the way they've done their tattoos, man? That's painful.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes they did with a stick, a stick and piece of wood.
Yeah, exactly, man. Oh,
But I mean,
I believe that was the Hawaiians, though. That
the Hawaiian.
that I know of.
Yeah.
well, that's all Polynesian.
It's all
I mean,
Polynesian.
even early day Japanese and
Japanese,
Fugal China, Fugal Japan.
Yeah.
still
but-
very old school.
Even then, they were branded. They were soldiers, and they were branded to indicate that these were not savory people. These aren't the
Yeah.
people you hang out with.
Nobody you want to mess with.
So
No.
either way you look at it, you had to earn the tattoo to get to that point, and that was part of the rite of passage of having to deal with the pain
Mhm.
of having the tattoo done. So it was a very painful process, and those guys were very proud of having the tattoo and suffering through the pain.
Correct.
As we wandered through, where we got into modern world, 50s, 60s, 70s, it was still, the bikers and the bad guys and
Still
Yeah.
very painful.
the ones that got into trouble and they would sit in and they would get drunk and, you had your soldiers, but those guys still earned the right to carry those tattoos
Mhm.
for the amount of things that they went through it. But they were
Yeah.
still known as you're not your savory type, not the
Right.
guys you hung out with.
When you had also back in with the 1940s, the tattoos meant something completely different.
Well, depending on what
During
environment
World
you
War
were.
II, the Germany
Oh,
concentration
yeah,
camps
you're
and all
talking
that,
about the
Those
numbers and
tattoos.
whatnot.
Yeah,
right,
that's-
exactly.
Well, and I mean during that same period of time, Japan and whatnot, those were more your gang type guys, the ones that got into more of an issue.
That and some of them was for culture and family.
It was. So you had your but those were you had to really earn your back piece for
Right.
Fugal
Oh,
Japan.
seriously, yeah.
So
Exactly.
you were definitely going to put up with the pain of going through the tattoo because you wanted that honor for your family of having
Yeah, it wasn't
that.
something you felt one day and the next day you feel like something else.
Yeah.
It was
That
a
really
lifelong
hurt. I don't want to do it
tradition.
anymore.
Well, and-
Or the meaning behind it.
that
Oh,
kind
yeah.
that kind of wandered into modern day tattoos, once we got into the 90s and the 2000s.
Mhm.
And people were getting them just because they were cool. Now, granted, tattoos are definitely cool. We obviously got our own.
Yeah.
But they started being more bougie.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't so much.
Like a weekend warrior kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you still had your bigger guys that got them, to show force and they earned them and they have stories behind them. That's kind of where I'm at on it when I've got my tattoos.
Mhm.
The tattoos that I have stories behind them. They're not there just because it looks cool.
No.
Yeah, they're not mood rings.
The one on my arm here, it's a guitar with Wile E. Coyote looking pissed at it. The reason I got it is I play guitar, been in different bands and whatnot, and then of course if anybody knows anything about Wile E. Coyote, he's the guy that does his absolute best to have the entire world thrown back at him. That was kind of his thing.
Yeah.
So it just kind of fits. All the work that I've put in just to have everything thrown back at me over time. So I've got a reason behind what I've got put on my arm. And if anybody asks, I'll tell them the story about it.
Mhm.
And he has partial knowledge of gravity too, the law of gravity, because he can walk out and the minute he looks down, it's over.
Situational gravity.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
The law of situational gravity.
So, but moving in, through tattoos, it became very popular and very bougie with the tramp stamps and the back, the lower back pieces, and the pretty little flowers and
Yeah, women really took to that. I like the tramp stamp personally on a woman. I think it looks cool.
At least you know who you're talking to afterwards.
well, I'm not going to judge one way or the other. Everybody's got their own choices. I
Right.
personally don't care for them. My wife wants one. She wants to lose some weight before she gets one. I think it would look good on her because she's my wife. I she can wear nothing and look good to me.
Right. Right.
But yeah, and I think that's where we're starting to wander into this bougie aspect of tattoos. If you
Mhm.
follow the progression, and if you remember, what was it, 15, maybe 20 years ago, it was like super popular
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
to, well, no, the tattoos were popular, but it also became popular that if you didn't like the tattoo,
Mhm.
you went to the hospital and had it removed
Right.
because they developed the laser removal technology.
Which is weird because it hurts worse than getting the tattoo itself.
Yeah,
But
actually,
they can put you under for that because that was an actual
Yeah,
medical procedure.
Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
like, why even bother do
And-
any of it?
And
Yeah.
then depending on where you went, some of them left you with scarring, some of them a much better plastic surgery places in California. You could walk out of there and it was like you never had a tattoo at all.
Depending on how much money you have.
Yes.
3 days of recovery, and then suddenly, Princess Perfect is back to being Princess Perfect. She doesn't have, ride hard, die fast on her arm.
Right. Right.
Or over
So
top
that-
of her woohoo.
So that became the new bougie thing is, oh, well, I'm going to get a tattoo this weekend, but then, I don't want it anymore. I'll go get it removed. And then you go out drinking with your buddies and, oh, well, I want a tattoo. So you go and get another one. It just seems like a rabbit hole of wasted money.
Right.
And you're
Well,
not-
that and it just, pretty much demoralizes the whole tattoo thing of why you did it
Yeah,
to
it
begin
does.
with.
Now,
Or why people do it to begin with.
because of that, there was an art explosion in tattoos. And it went from your basic tattoo designs
Mhm.
with maybe 4 or 5 different colors. And suddenly where there's hundreds of colors, there's glow in the dark, they're photorealistic. The tattoos are just incredible. And I got to give credit to the bougie era of the 2000s for doing that.
Right.
They really pushed the level of tattoos up in that aspect
Yeah, I think it's cool.
where they
actually.
became much more artistic. And
Yeah.
we have some amazing tattoos and tattoo artists out there today that are just doing ridiculously incredible work.
Mhm.
But I think that's faded into the next bougie level of tattoos.
What we're talking about today.
Yeah, where now you have these just absolute masterpieces.
Mhm.
And yeah, some of these bigger guys, the guys that go to the gym and are whether they're using steroids or not, they look like they could bench press a truck.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got this massive 30 color variation master art piece going down their arm as a full sleeve.
Mhm.
They put in the time to build their body that way.
Right.
Whether they're using supplements or not, they still put the effort in to build the body because you're not just going to shoot up steroids and become, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
There is some amount of effort.
You still have to put the work in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that I think it's a good idea for anybody to do that. I don't.
Mhm.
I think it destroys your body, but I still give them the credit of having put the effort in. So they have the right. But now it's become, oh, well, that's pretty. I want one. Well, that was 16 hours in a chair with a guy with 3 tattoo artists working nonstop to get all of these color blends and everything in. Well, nobody wants to deal with that. So now,
Well, nobody from today's time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
and it's painful. I mean, none of mine, not a single paint tattoo that I've ever had done has ever had lidocaine rub or
Mhm.
numbing cream or anything else. It's just straight.
Needle and skin.
Yep. Yeah.
We're going to town. Now I understand lidocaine rub, and there are some people that don't tolerate tattoo applications well.
I could see using the lidocaine rub to kind of cut the edge off,
Right.
especially where
Where
some
you're
of these
putting it.
tattoos are put and the
Yeah.
intricacy. I could see, okay, maybe it's better than being drunk and trying to,
Oh yeah, 'cause
you bleed out the colors and all that shit. But a little bit of cream, I could see that.
and I understand that. I think it's still an
Crutch, kind of.
it is. It's a
Yeah.
crutch. It's an easy
Mhm.
way
Definitely,
out.
yeah.
I'll put this on. I'll wait an hour and a half. My body will be completely numb. Then they can just fucking go to town.
Right. Right.
Maybe you earned the tattoo, but you didn't really earn all of the tattoo. You
I would
didn't
agree
go
with that.
through the pain of having the tattoo put on.
Right.
So I think there's that level. And then now you get to these point where people are like, oh, well, it's too much. I'm not doing that, but I still want the ink. So put me out.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. These,
Yuppies.
well, no, the anesthesiologists,
Oh,
they're
anesthesia.
trying to make money like anybody else. And if they're certified and capable of doing it, I was looking up some of the numbers on those guys.
Starting at.
Well, no, I'm not talking the tattoo. I'm talking the anesthesiologist. Now, the
Mhm.
tattoos start. I found some as low as 15,000,
Mm-hmm.
but they go all the way up to $150,000,
I
$160,000
would
for
not
like a
doubt
back
that one
lease.
bit. Yeah.
Wow.
Your anesthesiologist is getting 35% of that.
Jeez.
So if you've got a guy that's doing 7 tattoos a day, knocking people out, and he's getting 15 grand a pop, he's making $3 million a year to put people
Well,
out.
to be fair, he's not popping out 7 tattoos a day because for that kind of money, he's going to be at that chair for a few hours.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe do one.
One or
and
two or something. Maybe.
Well,
maybe
that's the
not.
sad
I'll
part
even
is
see 2.
DeviantArt, Sedition Inc., some of the places like that, they offer smaller ones for like people that just can't tolerate the pain at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they might only get knocked out the same as you would do at a dentist's office where it's only 45, 50 minutes.
Right.
And it's just, not any bigger than the one that's on my arm.
Well, yeah, I could see that, but if you're talking into the tens of thousands of dollars, I mean, I don't see you getting a tattoo, say this big,
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If
for a back piece.
if you're getting a $15,000 surgery for a tattoo,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still getting 50 or 30% of that,
Right.
he's still pulling what, $5,000?
Well, depending, then we turn to the timetable, how long it's going to take, how long you're under, because like with just your basic, tattoo artists, they charge about $1 a minute, so $60 an hour. But you get into the higher level ones that their artistry is just insane. They start at a certain price and then they just go from there.
Yeah.
They make their own price.
Oh yeah,
So
I've
with
seen
an
some.
anesthesiologist, I would imagine their time is also being paid for,
Well, what was that?
and the equipment.
There was that one guy in Miami that was charging $600 an hour.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I can see that, but who
Now-
has $600 to just throw at a tattoo?
Yeah. I mean,
but he had a name behind it. So not only
Mhm.
were you getting the tattoo, you were getting a tattoo by this guy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're not just buying the tattoo and the effort and all of that. You're buying the name that's going behind it and the fact that you went to Miami, Florida,
Mhm.
talked to this guy, got
Right.
him to
And
do
if
the
he's
tattoo.
on TV at any point, then fuck,
Yeah.
there goes even higher because it was done by this guy. Yeah,
yeah.
I follow.
The famous people are.
yeah,
So,
world renowned kind of thing.
but it just seems like you're shortcutting the process and you're muddying. I mean, tattoos don't necessarily carry a massive dignity about them to begin with because they have such a bad reputation.
Well, they've had it, yeah, but I think the opposite. I think they do carry a lot of weight, only simply because before all this came along, you had to endure that crazy.
Well, and that's just
stuff.
it. You had to earn it. So there was a certain, but now with all of these new things that from all the way, and I'm going all the way down to the lidocaine rub,
Mm-hmm.
all the way up through getting put completely out for it. You're muddying the waters.
Yes,
Where's the
definitely.
respect for the tattoo anymore? If you saw
Right.
a guy with a teardrop on his eye 30 years ago, he was in prison. He got it because
Mm-hmm.
He murdered somebody.
Yeah,
Whether it be murder or whether it be how much time he did,
Yeah.
right.
So
He definitely earned that, and that was a guy you stood clear of.
exactly, and you knew what that teardrop meant. There wasn't
Yeah.
no question about it. So if you tried to put one on yours and it didn't have the same meaning, or you didn't go through it,
Yeah.
you were found out.
I've
Rather
heard about
quick.
stuff like that with like the spider webs, like people put spider webs on them, and the spider web basically means your prison sentence and how long you spent, how big of the spider web is what your prison sentence was.
Well, different prisons, different meanings.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're from.
Right, but those are indoctrination. Those are
Mhm.
you're in the system. You earned it, and
Yeah,
then
those are your political tattoos.
and you have to pay the price for those tattoos. But they
Mhm.
became popular, and now you've got people,
Running around.
these 18, 19, 20-year-old rappers with teardrops and spider webs, and you're
And
like,
the coloring books for a face.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
get that.
you don't have 6.5 minutes in prison. What are you doing with all this stuff on?
Yeah, I don't.
So
I don't get
you're
that.
really defacing the value of the effort. I mean, if you want to go the gangster lifestyle,
Mhm.
now I don't condone it. But if you're in that section and you're trying to be that, that gangster lifestyle thing and you're throwing all these on, what you're doing is you're slapping the ones that actually earned that in the face.
Yeah.
That's kind of a touchy slope because you're not wrong, but there's a lot of factors that depend on that too. Because people don't just usually throw that stuff on to try to fit in or anything. They're gonna know. They're gonna know what you're about and what you've done, and if it's even verified that you could wear those patches or colors that are on your
But that's
skin.
what I'm saying is you've got these kids out there now
Mhm.
that are like, oh well, that's cool and it makes me look like a badass, so
Oh, you
I'm gonna
mean
put it on.
like the kids on the outs compared to
Yeah, no, I'm
yeah,
not talking
yeah.
the kids in the inside. If it's like you go up to your to whatever cell block is buzzing out
Mhm.
and say, hey man, I want a teardrop because I think it looks awesome. He's probably gonna slap you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got to get
definitely.
permission. He's got to get permission from whoever's the boss to say, hey, and then they verify that shit because they're not just going to put it on because then again, it would just water down the whole meaning behind it.
Yeah, so but it's the guys on the outside that are getting it just because it's cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you've muddied it, and the guys on the inside don't carry the same respect. I mean, they probably still do on the inside.
Oh, they still do,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, on the outside it's kind of different. It's like, well, he's just another teardrop in his eye.
Yeah.
But to those who do have that teardrop on your eye, and if a guy comes up and he's all about that and he's for real, he's gonna jam you up and figure you out real quick.
Yep.
But like you said, it doesn't mean as much on the outside as it does on the inside.
Yeah,
But that-
he walk up to that person, and go in. So how long you spend? How long you spend in? This kid will look at him and go, "What?
What are you talking about?" And then suddenly he's getting shanked, which is where I'm concerned that some of this stuff is becoming popular.
Mm-hmm.
The spider webs and the teardrops and
Mhm.
the slashes, or you've got your white supremacists that put their nonsense on their body for some goofy ass reason.
All the gangs in L.A.
I mean, why would you put something on your body that marks you as a target? That's just stupid to me, in my personal opinion. Now, if you're on the inside and you get it, it makes sense. You're in your clique. You've got to be in with your group, and you want to be identified. It doesn't necessarily work so great on the outside.
No, not on the outside. I mean, because yeah, like you said, with wrong colors or whatever can get you killed one block away.
But that's my concern is you get these kids that don't think anything of it, and they go out and I'm going to get the teardrop, and I'm going to get 3 or 4 teardrops put on because it looks cool, and I'm going to get the spider webs on my elbows and the ones on my pecs, and you get all lit up, and then you get into a car accident and end up picking up 5 years.
Yeah,
Now,
see, that's a case of stolen valor and mistaken identity as
Yep.
far as, where you're from. Because you see kids all the time putting, logos and symbols on their body and they don't know what it's about.
right, and then suddenly they're behind bars, and
Yeah, and then they're covering their shit up or, oh, God, I'm not too sure about this or that. Just like with, an Iron Cross and shit, that's a political tattoo being on the inside, which has no value out here. It doesn't stand for the same thing out here.
no, it's just motorcycles out
But
here.
inside is a whole different story.
But that's where my concern is. Not only do you have the guys that, or the people, because you can't even just say it's guys. Girls are just as susceptible to it. It's not only them that are going to risk an issue where they go inside and have to deal with it. You've also got these guys, like you say, that are part of that life, and they might have just got out for 15 years. Well, they're still institutionalized in their head.
Right.
They're still living under the political hierarchy of the system. And now for the first 5-6 months until they reacclimate to being on the outside, they think those rules still apply.
Well, to a certain degree, because every man that gets out of prison knows that they're out. Unless you get those ones that are so institutionalized that they commit crimes to go back in because they don't know any other way.
Yeah.
But most men are pretty coherent as to, okay, I'm out. Things are different. But when it comes down to actually, like confronting a person or standing on business, then is when they struggle because then they go through this, tug of war in their head. Well, do I let him go and just let him punk me, or do I fucking stand my ground and show him what's up? So that's where the battle is.
And that might end up being neighborhood wide.
Oh yeah,
because if you're you go into the wrong neighborhood, you're from say Ventura, and you decide you're going to go into Compton to go hang out at a bar with some guys, and you don't know that some locals had just gotten out. You got the fancy tattoo down in Ventura. But
in
now,
a shop.
Oh yeah.
Now you're in the wrong place, dealing with the wrong people because you thought it was cool. You're in an alley bleeding.
Yep.
Yes, there have been many cases of people getting, mistaken as a gang member or stuff to that situation
And
because of a tattoo.
but I think that's where the I don't want to keep saying bougie, the trending or the popular thing about tattoos
Hmm.
has gotten completely twisted in its meaning. And I think that's just this sedation where you're going under to have a tattoo put on just brings that further into focus. Is now we're threading a real narrow line where
There are some that really do thread that narrow line, but it's not like it's an epidemic of people getting knocked off because of a tattoo per se. But those who do get in trouble and get hemmed up because of it, it is quite tragic at the moment because it's scary to think that one tattoo that you got didn't pay no mind to it or any research about it. The next thing you know, somebody's saying, well, you're claiming this or you're claiming that, and you got 4 or 5 dudes, with guns sticking in your face. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
That reminds me of one of the remember Sons of Anarchy?
yeah.
They went and took that one guy who was out of the club, and he's still wearing the tattoo. He's still showing it, and they looked at him and says, "Hey,
Oh
we're
yeah, I
gonna have to
remember
take
that.
that thing off." And they got a blowtorch, and burned it off him, sent him to the hospital.
There's some people that'll cut it off, like
Yeah,
in prison, they'll cut it off.
yeah, they'll cut it off. Yeah, I read
Yeah.
about that too.
So
Um,
the easy access to a tattoo is not always the best thing because
and
it just makes access for anybody.
Yeah,
yeah, and I'm not saying that appropriation of particular uh, cultures, prison culture versus public culture.
Mhm.
The appropriation doesn't just go one way,
Right.
and it messes with things in that too. I wanted to get a runic tattoo, Viking runes,
Mhm.
but apparently the white supremacists in prison have started using them to identify themselves. So now certain runic symbols
Mhm.
are considered white supremacist. Well, my family, my heritage is Scottish. My wife's family is Norwegian.
Mhm.
So for us, the culture is, these are just the runes from where our ancestors are from.
Right.
But now you end up with somebody out on the street that might be, of this new social justice warrior group out there that see them and go, oh, well, you're a white supremacist because the Aryan nation in prison is using those. So, and then they grab a whole bunch. We've all seen it. It's been all over the news.
Mhm.
You're just walking down the street and you get mobbed by a bunch of liberals that are just
Yep.
pushing for this act or that act. Well, you're a racist. You're a racist. I've never been racist against anybody in my whole damn life.
Right. Well, you can't explain that to them,
no,
and it's just well, that's a whole different other topic. But still, as far as getting the tattoos so easily accessible, as you do have these ding dongs that come in and they have more money than brains, and they get these tattoos, and it's one minute they're bare skin, next minute they got a whole body tattoo of all kinds of shit that probably is not appropriate for certain neighborhoods or whatever. So that I can see that being a problem.
I could see that going from one neighborhood to the next one to the next one. To keep running.
Pretty much.
Just keep running, dude.
Yeah, wait till you get
Your
out the
left
woods.
arm is going to get you beat up. Then you get to the next neighborhood. Your right arm is going to get you beat up.
Your leg's gonna get you shot.
Yeah, it can be out of hand.
Your
It
back
definitely
piece is
can
gonna
be
get
out
you
of hand.
stabbed.
Now, the other side to that, and I'm kind of interested in about your guys' opinion on this. The anesthesia going under to get the tattoo done. They tell you in the surgery,
Mhm.
anytime you go for any surgery, tooth surgery, you're going for dentist work, or you're going for, a colonoscopy, or you're going in for heart surgery, or you're going in for a bypass, or, you're going in to get a bone reset and you need to get put under. They always tell you, you can develop an allergy to the medication and we might not be able to bring you back.
Mm-hmm.
There is a chance. Now it's not a huge chance, but there's always a chance that something's going to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they put you out because your body is completely shut down, they have to breathe for you.
Right.
Do you really want to risk your life? Now, a little bit of pain for a tattoo sucks, but do you really want to risk your life for a tattoo? I was reading articles that 22% of anesthesia patients will either have their medication changed mid-procedure
Mm-hmm.
or they will just straight out crash because they develop an allergy to the medication while they're under.
Damn.
Yeah, see, I'm under the impression that the only time you should ever go under for any reason is for surgery, medical purposes only.
Something where
Yeah.
you don't have the procedure done, it's actually more detrimental than having the surgery done.
Or even a fucking tooth, whatever medical reason, I would say yes for going under. But as far as a tattoo, no, I'll suffer through that.
But that's what I'm saying is people are willingly signing up to put their life at risk because you're shutting the body down for this procedure.
Yeah, no, that's not worth the risk to me. Not for a tattoo. No.
And it just seems like it's too much.
It is. It's very much too much. That's I don't know. That's overkill if you ask me. It's like you don't need to put the whole body down. Just take your time getting a fucking tattoo like everybody else.
Yeah, and some of these people it's a matter of impatience, too much money, and greed to get this fancy ass tattoo put on.
Too much money, not enough brains.
Yeah, I'd just rather go in sessions, and eventually I'll end up with what I want because maybe I changed my mind, in maybe it takes a year to do a whole back piece, and maybe I'll change my mind in between and I have time to say, okay, well, you know what, let's twist it around a little bit.
Let's change this up. Maybe I don't want to add this in. Maybe I don't like the colors so much. I'm not into the dark colors anymore. I want something a little more poppy.
I always appreciate that saying when they say, 20 years in the making. That I can respect. It makes sense. But to say, burger done in 5 minutes doesn't really sound appealing, because like if you get your tattoo done, boom, boom, there you go. Oh, fuck, I fucked up. Maybe I should have, it would look cool if I'd done this.
There are entire web pages dedicated to tattoo regret.
Yes. And you got one shot. And I you want to make it, last.
Being a fan of tattoos and having quite a few myself, I love going to those where there's that one lady that's on TikTok right now that she's going through and reading Kenji and reading Mandarin tattoos.
Oh, yeah. What they really mean.
Oh, look, a fluffy bunny.
You don't even realize, people.
The guy's got a tattoo. I mean, what was it? It's a girl has a tattoo on her ankle. It says sweaty balls.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my God.
And you're thinking, oh, well, that's awesome. It's an awesome tattoo. I want to put it on my ankle, and then walking around for the rest of your life with sweaty balls.
Yeah, it looks cool the way it's written.
You want to see my sweaty balls down by my ankles?
Yeah, yeah. It's just too much.
Tim was referring to. We got into a website. Yeah, it had to have been about 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years.
And somebody had pointed out, and there was this huge back piece. Football player had this kanji back piece, and he thought it looked cool, and it was supposed to be power and grace, and it said fluffy bunny.
Oh my God. No. And he's an NFL player?
Yeah.
Woo! That's fucked up.
Well, that's the one thing. That's why I'm glad I got mine from. I got mine from someone from Japan.
Right. Yeah, Chico designed it.
Chico designed it. She knew what she was saying, so I knew exactly what it said.
Right.
I mean, there's one that was on one of those pages recently where it was. I mean, obviously we've seen the no regrets tattoo. There's it was a Mandarin one where the literal translation was limp low branch, which basically in modern time just translate to you're impotent.
Yeah.
And there's this massive guy that's got it tattooed down his sleeve, and it's supposed to he's thinking it means temple power. Or something. It was something about the temple, but it literally says you got a limp dick.
Wow. Yeah, I don't trust any of them foreign, literacy tattoos and whatnot unless I know for a fact. But.
And that I'm 50 years old. I'm not huge. Well, okay, I'm a lot better with technology than a lot of people are. I've been in technology a good chunk of my life. I was a computer programmer before I got into construction and driving a truck. I know a lot about technology, but at 50, I shouldn't be above these new kids, technology-wise, where if somebody were to bring me a set of kanji letters and go, hey, this is cool. This says power and grace or love and freedom. First thing I'm going to do is pull up my phone, take a picture of it, and drop it in Google. What does this say? And
Exactly.
if it says fluffy bunny, guess what? That ain't something I'm getting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to do some
I'll
homework.
give it to you, but I'm not getting it.
Some research. Yeah, you got to know what you're putting on your body before you do it. And a lot of people don't. They just put it on their body.
How many people do you know planet wide above the age of 4 that don't have a smartphone? I know people in their 90s with a smartphone.
Yeah.
Everybody has a phone nowadays.
Your mother-in-law.
Right.
My mother-in-law has an iPhone. She's got an iPhone 16.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a phone. Everybody has access to the internet.
Yeah.
Take a picture, drop it in there in a search. It will tell you what it means. How is it this difficult? How do we still have kids today that are 18, 19 years old going down to the tattoo parlor and picking letters off the wall
Not knowing
because
what
they're
about.
cool?
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, well, that looks cool. So I'm just take 5 seconds to take a picture of it, drop it in Google.
Because it's trending, that's why.
Yeah.
And that's what's really sad now is my last update on my I've got the S25. It has a button, and I'm sure that you've got the S20, don't you? You've got the S20.
I don't know what I got.
I think no, you've got the 22.
22, I think. Yeah.
If you go into the Google search, it has 3 icons: the AI icon, the voice icon, and a camera.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally just tap the camera, and when you take the picture, it immediately goes into the Google search.
And just starts looking for information about that.
Yeah, it's not even that you've got to take a picture and put it in. Like, what does this mean? You can take the picture, and it will automatically do it for you.
Yeah, it's the world at your fingertips.
How? How do we still have people with
alcohol?
The
Oh,
cheerleader at University of Arizona
yeah.
that got caught on one of those sites with the kanji letters kanji letters on the back of her neck that said slut.
That's fucked up. Now, what about those people with face tattoos? I've never seen a face tattoo that looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, the tattoo may have been done well, but the placement of it,
I can't take them seriously.
Yeah, I just don't see why.
I can't remember where I was. I was like driving around. So I think maybe I was leaving work or something. I saw a guy with like a couple tattoos on his face, and the first thing I thought of like, who the hell you think you are? What the hell?
I can't take them seriously.
He thinks he's Jelly Roll.
I deliver for a store, or I deliver stores. I deliver supplies for stores. That's what I do for as my driving job. And I came across a receiver that had tattoos on his face, and I just couldn't take him seriously.
No,
there's just no way. I wouldn't let him unload the truck because he hit the wall twice.
No.
So I wasn't really going to turn him loose with the equipment anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, dude. You made that choice consciously to put something on your face.
Mm-hmm. As if to make it look better or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And maybe that's the Gen X in me. It was always the big joke that if somebody was going to tattoo stupid or dickhead on your forehead while you were sleeping.
Right.
So it was always a joke from our generation that somebody was going to tattoo your face.
Right.
Yep.
To have people do it willingly.
And how quickly it's taken off. I've seen more and more people with tattoos on their faces.
Yeah.
I barely understand the ones on the neck.
I don't mind so much the ones on the neck. It's when you go above that bothers me.
Because it's like, like I said.
I didn't say that they bother me. I said I don't understand why you would do it.
Yeah. Well, also the fact
maybe a little one. I understand the kiss, the lips. I understand letters. I understand maybe a little symbol if you're representing something, one way or the other. Mm-hmm. Hell, even if you're doing dirt bikes or motocross or racing cars or whatever, I could see you putting your number on your neck.
Right.
But
those make sense to me. It's these ones that are getting like mid chest all the way around, like a complete necklace.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I don't understand. What's the point? Do you not like your neck that much?
I don't know
if
you got to cover it up, or if it's just trying to be unique. No,
I think it's become a popular thing where you've got a couple of people. Rodney Ratke, the lead singer for Falling in Reverse.
Mm-hmm.
He had some tattoos done on his neck, and he had his entire neck done black to cover up most
Wasn't
of
it
those.
that dude that went to prison?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead now.
No, he's still alive.
The Chomo?
No, he's not. They put him in threatened, but it turned out that wasn't it. He actually was sent in for something he didn't do.
Then it's got to be a different person I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, no, Rodney Ratke from Pauline and Reverse is still alive.
Okay.
I actually quite enjoy his music, and I've read enough about it both ways. He did what he did. He knows what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Whether, I don't think he got sent away for it because he's been way too adamant that he didn't, even after getting out and serving his time, which he did willingly.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, the story doesn't jive. So I think people are being very aggressive towards him without necessary. That's entirely beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he got things on his neck he didn't care for, so he got them covered up. It's
Right.
all black. And it seems that it's become a very popular thing. If you look at the guys from that did Stressed Out, I can't remember the name of the band. They do Ride, and I think it's I can't remember the name of the band, but he's got a neck tattoo, and you've got several other people, and it just seems like it became very popular from these celebrities that have them, that now everybody's going out and getting neck tattoos, and I'm like, why? That's something that you're actually going to regret later in life.
I say unless you're rich and famous, don't get it, because that's just burning your bridges that you may or may not have when trying to get a job or make a living.
Right? How are
you fucks gonna want to hire you?
When you're getting a job, you have face tattoos. That's the first thing the guy's gonna look at and go, "What the hell? Are you some kind of gang member?"
You ain't going in the public like that. But unless you got money and stuff, then I can see do whatever the fuck you want. But even the face tattoo, if you're rich, I don't see that.
If you're not the face of a company, if you're in IT or you're in a programmer, you're in a back room, I can see them, maybe not putting that much into it. But most of your working people have to be subjected to the public at some point. And that's the one thing that the company that I work, every company I've worked for has pushed, is you are the face of the company while you're out there. Everything you do, they look at, well, we allow this, so this applies back to us.
Right.
That may or may not affect you as an individual employee, but the company's looking at it going, this is the guy that's representing us? No, we'll find somebody else.
Oh, yeah, with the quickness. I mean, I tell you get somebody up there with clean shaven or whatever and comes in looking nice, and compared to a tattoo guy, even though he's probably clean shaven and looking nice, I believe that the 9 out of 10 times they're going to hire the clean cut guy simply because, like you said, nobody wants to be represented like that. I mean, you wouldn't want a lawyer looking like that when he goes to represent you in front of a judge, would you? Fuck, no, you wouldn't.
Lawyer or
or a doctor,
a lawyer or a day trader or a doctor, somebody. I would look at him and go, okay, well, now this is me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I would look at somebody with tattoos on his face. If I'm going in for a bypass surgery on my heart, and a doctor comes in with facial tattoos, no, I will go somewhere else.
Yeah,
because you have proven that you don't make good choices.
Yeah, exactly. It does reflect on them personally very, very quickly.
You may be absolutely fantastic, but you've proven that you don't make very good choices.
Right. You just let that shit, be on your face like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable with it either. Like a DEI hire or some shit, like, no, dude.
I don't mind the DEI hires and all. If you're working in a call center, you're probably not dealing with people.
That's a little more acceptable.
Do whatever. If you're working in IT, you're working in the back, you're working as janitor. There's plenty of jobs that you can get those, and
that's where you'll be stuck.
But it's not going to affect anybody. But yeah, you're not going to be dealing with the purchasing director. Even let's go to a trash company, the garbage collector, the guy picking up the trash. Nobody cares about.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to get a promotion because eventually you're going to be that marketing director or that marketing manager or that manager that has to deal with the customers. And, so.
But they can't do it with you looking like that.
I'm going to go to a construction site and try to sell a couple of roll-off dumpsters because we need to get the money for the roll-off dumpsters. And now the foreman's going, no. These guys are offering the same price, and they don't come in looking like a jackwad. I'll take them.
Yeah, or come in looking like they just stepped out of prison.
Yeah
no.
And whether that happens or not, your bosses are still looking at that going, that could happen.
Yeah.
So now I'm not going to move you into that position. So you're never going to be anything more than the trash collector. You might work your way up to the driver,
Mm-hmm.
but you're definitely not going to be office staff.
No. Yeah, you do limit yourself when it comes to career wise. But as far as the whole, yeah, being under, it's just it's too accessible, too
It's
available.
and that's the problem is I think this new level of sedation where they're putting people under for these things, it's making it too easy. And as time goes along, people are going to start um, taking advantage of it, and just
Somebody will misuse it somehow, some way.
Oh yeah,
they really win. Of course, you also have the other side of that is how many of these shops that are not necessary, they're shadier shops,
Mhm.
and it's like, hey, I've got some chloroform, we can knock you out for an hour or two.
Or I got a guy who can do it for cheaper.
Yep.
And it might not even be that. It might, maybe it's a mid-range tattoo studio. Hey, we got some anesthesiology students from the university we can hire to bring in, but now they're not as great.
Yeah.
They put you under a little too deep.
Yeah, a little too deep.
And yeah, now they're calling the ambulance to come take you to the hospital to save you from your tattoo.
Yeah.
There's always going to be somebody that's going to push the limit for money.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to have your greedy people. Everybody that says, well, socialism is great, we can all work on the same level, and everybody can be happy. No, greed is a thing. As long as humans exist, there will be greed. There will be somebody that pushes the limit and wants control over everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a matter of, I'm going to make more money doing this. I'm going to skirt the system.
Yep.
There's always going to be somebody to find their way around it. If there weren't ways to if there weren't people trying to find ways around it, we wouldn't have a criminal system.
Yeah.
That's just as simple as it gets.
That's true.
The prison is filled with people that were just trying to find a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they didn't do it the right way. That's why they are where they are. But trying to find a way around it is still the basis.
I need money for rent, so I had to, went into this bank and asked for money
With a,
with a cap gun.
Forcefully
with a cap gun.
I mean, you get these guys that are addicted to drugs that go and rob houses. It's still a matter. It comes down to money. It's bad choices. It's bad decisions.
I got caught
Well, it's
stealing
in
tires.
the fucking commandments for a reason,
I got caught stealing tires off a cop car.
But yeah, as far as sedation tattoos, that's a thumbs down for me.
Yeah, no,
definitely not.
There's too much, and if you're into it and you've got these shops and even the shops that do them, more power to you. But I hope that the shops themselves are looking at it going, okay, you have this really extensive piece. We're going to do a lot of background on it, and we're going to figure out if it's capable of being done without it, or if it's something. If you're just doing it because it's a fancy thing I'm going to do this weekend, I hope they look at you and go, no, that's not how this works.
Right.
There has to be a reason behind putting you under. We're not going to risk your life over something that you just think is fancy,
right, or cool, or whatever.
So I would hope that these shops that are doing them have a little more respect, and they're not just trying to make some money. Now, before we end this, I wanted to try and add a new section to it. So all of us, of course, this originally started the original idea on this was we were going to talk and we were going to discuss our views on music and things of that nature, and that kind of got away from us. But I had wanted to kind of bring it back a little bit with what we're listening to this week. My tastes per week change all the time. I might be listening to Phil Collins and Eric Clapton and Y&T and Yes and Dokken and just a random group one week. And then like this week, half my playlist is Burning Rush, Teddy Swims, Chris Stapleton, J.D. Vance. I've gotten more recently I've gotten into the outlaw soul music, and I've started pushing for that. I know that you started listening to at least a couple of those.
Yeah, I started listening to a couple of the AI music where they, take famous songs and put them in like soul or funk, beat, and it sounds pretty good. A lot of them sound better than the original, in my opinion, or at least cool.
They really do. So currently what I'm listening, I've got, I'm going to read off what my current playlist is. So if you happen to have a playlist that I'd like to hear what some of the songs on your playlist for the week are. just to kind of give people an idea. Maybe you guys can find something new. You know, check some of these guys out. They're great artists. They're really good at what they're doing. You've got the classics like Y&T and Cinderella and all these other bands. Maybe you haven't listened to them in the past. Check them out.
Yeah.
So the top ones on mine are Lose Control by Teddy Swims, The Door by Teddy Swims, Breaking Rust, Living on Borrowed Time, Whiskey Don't Talk Back by Breaking Rust, Walk My Walk by Breaking Rust, Tell the Devil I'm Busy by J.D. Vance or J.D. Steele, Outlaws and Outsiders by Corey Marks, Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. That's just kind of what I'm into this week. So, hey, take an opportunity to go check some of them out. Maybe you can get some new music, give you something different to listen to. So, what's on your playlist for the week?
My playlist for the week, I'm not really listening to anything in particular. I'm into the videos at the moment, watching, believe it or not, Jerry Springer and Steve Wilkos. Because they're uninterrupted, it's just, it's got me doing that whole binge thing. But as far as music is concerned, I'm still doing the whole, what if this song was done this way?
Well, and then last week when we were working on the car, you kind of got into the I guess it would be contemporary rock, but it was from it was 80s contemporary rock.
Oh, you talking like some easy, was it soft rock? I think it was.
Yeah, what were we listening? It was like we heard some Air Supply and we heard some
very
Phil
much
Collins
so.
and
Phil Collins and some fucking just 70s and 80s.
I think the
soft
Motels
rock
was in there.
Out there was, and the Beatles got played quite a few times.
Paul McCartney and Wings, just stuff you probably hear in an elevator now. To be quite honest.
What are you listening to? You're just as bad as me. You pull up a playlist. You might be listening to Windrose this week, and
yeah, I have listened to Windrose this week, but I've been also listening to Dirty Honey. Was it When I'm Gone and California Dreamin', Rolling Sevens. There's Mammoth with Don't Back Down, Distance, which is a great tribute to his father. Wolfgang Van Halen.
Right, and then of course you got strung out on Youngblood there.
Youngblood, Youngblood. They had. I've tried to listen to the new version of Back in the Saddle, and I couldn't quite.
Youngblood? Youngblood?
Well, Youngblood and Aerosmith, Steven Tyler.
And they did Back in the Saddle?
They did Back in the Saddle, yeah.
I'm going to check that out. I'm already in a bitchy mood.
Well, I couldn't quite figure out because their vocals are so similar. They have the rock mouth.
Right.
They have that big...
They do a big mouth bass,
yeah, exactly.
That's what we're calling it.
Yeah. Well, that's what they called it, the big mouth. It's like him, Steven Tyler, and freaking the Rolling Stones.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger. They have that rock mouth. That's what they call it. I'm like, holy crap. I see it now.
Cock
so,
mouth.
I was listening to that. And then there's, Greta Van Fleet.
Oh, of course. You got to throw some.
Yeah, my Michigan people.
I haven't listened to any Greta Van Fleet. I did listen to them last week. I listened to Highway Song and what is that other one that they did?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't fuck with Greta. Too much like Led Zeppelin.
It is very similar.
It's very similar, but they do have a lot. They do go other places too. They
still sound like Led Zeppelin.
No, their other stuff.
Other stuff. It sounds like kind of like the Doors.
Does it really?
They got more of a Doors feel to it.
Okay.
It does have an interesting feel to it. I haven't really listened to a ton. There's maybe 5 or 6 songs from Greta Van Fleet that I listen to.
But to be fair, there's a lot of bands that are really good that I fucking only mess with 4 or 5 songs.
Well, yeah, I've been listening to since the passing, Ozzy, of course. Ace Frehley. I've been listening to some Ace Kiss.
I'm
back in the New York groove. Yeah, exactly. And
that's the only Ace Frehley song I know.
Disco Kiss.
Disco Kiss. Then there's what is it? Oh shoot! I listen to a whole bunch of different stuff. Freaking Skull by Sound of Music.
Or
either Sound of Music or let me check it out.
You mean Miracle of Sound?
Miracle of Sound, yeah.
Because you're talking about a movie, and I'm like, I don't remember that song in the movie.
Miracle of Sound, yeah. That one, yeah. My Viking metal.
I've got some Viking metal that I listen to, but I haven't really listened to it much this week.
Yeah. I do listen to it from time to time.
I did.
Disturbed is a big one too.
I did pull Richie Sambora back out of my dusty folder in the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I listened to that one song from Richie Sambora, his big hit.
Oh, Peyton Parrish.
Peyton Parrish. I really only like Valhalla Calling Me,
Valhalla
but
Calling-
there's also
There's Skull.
I read-
He has one Skull. He's got one. It has to do God of War, which the whole is based on the video game God of War. The video is fucking awesome.
Valhalla Calling Me is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, that's actually a cover. He's actually I think it was
Miracle of Sound.
Miracle of Sound actually did it. He did the cover of it. That's where I learned it though, because
Did
I was
you
working
say
at
it was
Walmart.
the Sound of Music?
You did say it was.
That's
Yeah,
what
Sound
I
of
thought. Okay.
It's
That's
a
why I
Viking Sound of Music.
That's why I'm like, that skull wasn't in the Sound of
Come
Music.
alive.
So,
come alive with the sound of skull.
so that's going to be our show for
Okay.
today. I kind of want to try
Mm-hmm.
to end this on what we're listening to this week. Maybe give you guys an opportunity to hear some new stuff. It was one of the things that Tony pointed out last week is he was completely blown away, and we were giving him some opportunity to find some music that he hadn't necessarily had the opportunity to find on his own.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go to give you a shout out to a few guys that I've actually met over the weekend, and they joined our group. They subscribed, and they're really great guys.
What are their names?
I completely forgot.
This guy and that guy.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, if you're out there, write down or leave a message, put down your names, and next time I'll go ahead and I'll definitely shout you guys out. I appreciate you guys. Really, man. I was like, we had a discussion.
Don't do that. We're not going to have 9,000 people sending you random messages. If you can private message the page,
yeah,
and send it directly to us so that it doesn't just get commented on the video. Please don't comment on the video. You might end up with random people, and we're not trying to start any issues with anybody.
Hi, I'm Bob.
So with that being said, this is our latest episode of Three Old Guys Podcast. We really appreciate you guys coming along. You can check out and you can get us a coffee. I mean,
Yeah.
I recently started drinking coffee. I've never been a big coffee drinker,
Or
but I've
beer?
recently started drinking coffee. There's an opportunity to support us on our, I think it's a Stan store. I don't think we have a Patreon or anything like that.
No, we don't have Patreon, no.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Apparently, I need to start looking at Spotify for putting the audio versions of this out. So that's one of the things that I'm going to have to look into, along with the editing and getting clips sent to Facebook and TikTok and everything else. It's a damn mess.
It's a lot of work.
So, but
we appreciate you, really.
We really do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us and listening to this. Basically, three morons talking about complete and utter nonsense. But if you haven't and you just happen to come across it, like, follow, and subscribe. We would really enjoy hearing from you guys. Find out what you would prefer with topics.
Yeah. What's your favorite songs?
Put down a list of songs that you think we might enjoy. We would definitely like to listen to them. Hey, we might even pick a couple of them and do
trash talk it.
We might do a mystery theater 3000 version of.
There you go. That'd be cool.
Take some of the videos, maybe not reaction videos, but just straight up trash talking videos. We'll just talk over the top of the video the entire time, like mystery.
Mystery theater. Yeah.
Yeah, and just some of the older ones that we've all seen. Just mess with them. But
oh my God, I can't believe it was that young.
But we would definitely appreciate some new music if you've got some ideas. It's something that we haven't listened to. We're more than happily listen to it and comment what we think about it. It might even become part of a show. So follow, and subscribe. We really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Later, Gator.